All right, we're going to take a look at Chapter 4, Lesson 1 today. So let's see if I can minimize myself here. Chapter 4, Lesson 1 deals with powers and exponents. So let's get started. We're going to skip the getting started part. Let's get started with the next chunk. So when this is looking at powers and exponents, there's some important vocab that we want to know. So I'm going to go ahead and write some stuff in here. We're going to fill out our workbook. So it says a power is a number that's expressed using an exponent such as 2 to the 4th, and in that example, 2 to the 4th, the base is 2, the exponent is 4. It means that 2 is used as a factor 4 times. So 2 to the 4th means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. If you plug that into your calculator, if you do that in your head, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. This is different than saying 2 times 4, right? So we're saying 2 times itself 4 times. So let's recap that vocab here. It says here, label the expression with the terms base, exponent, and power. Let's start with this part here. So we're saying 5 and the 2. What's the 2? Do you remember what that is? Base, exponent, or power? The 2 here, in this case, this would have been the 4. It says it's the exponent. I'm going to go ahead and write that in. So let's see if I can do that. Oh, beautiful. Exponent. Not the best handwriting, but it's not too bad. So exponent. How about this one then? If this is the exponent, this big number here is the base. I'm going to see if I can write that in. Whoa. There we go. Base. So the whole thing together, the whole chunk, is called a power. So we're going to say this one, power. And now for this next part, this is just asking us to identify again for each power, so each grouping, underline the base and circle the exponent. Take a minute to see what you think for these. Underline the base, circle the exponent. Wouldn't this be the base? And this would be the exponent. Base, exponent, base, exponent, base, exponent. I think that looks great. Okay, let's go to the next part here. So this is talking about data storage. It says here data storage capacity is measured in bytes. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, let's get back to this. It says here data storage capacity is measured in bytes and is based on powers of 2. So powers of 2. That always means 2 to the whatever power, 2 to the whatever exponent. It says here the standard scientific meanings for the prefixes mega and giga are 1 million and 1 billion respectively. So this is saying write 2 to the 20th in expanded form, then find its value. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's go for it. So I'm going to type it. I feel like that might be a little bit, whoa. Let's reduce the size of this. Can you still see that? I hope you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to change this to red, and let's go. So 2 to the 20th power. Okay, 2 times 2 times 2. We need this 20 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, right? And it says, then find its value. So when I do that, I'm going to grab a calculator. So if we're going to write 2 to the 20th in expanded form, you grab a calculator right now. See if you can do this. When I'm going to do this, I'm going to pull up this a little bit bigger so you can see me. So I'm going to use this calculator. I'm going to plug in 2 to the 20th power. So I'm going to write 2 to the 20th power. We're going to use this caret button. Do you see that with the arrow? It looks like a tiny rooftop. That says to the, and now we can say 20th power. Can you see that? 2 to the 20th power. When you hit enter, this is going to be a really big number. Really big number. So that's our answer for this, 2 to the 20th power. If you don't have one of these calculators, even your phone calculators should have that option. Let me see if I can get a calculator going here. I don't see one on my phone as is, but if I turn it sideways, let's see, if I turn it sideways, I don't know if you can see this. I see that X to the Y button, that's what we would use. So if I wanted to try this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in 2, gosh, sorry, this is kind of hard to do, 2 to the whatever power, so I'm going to do 2, and then I'm going to hit that X to the Y button, and now I'm going to say 20th power, and I suppose I can close those parentheses if we want, but I don't know where the parentheses button is. Oh, here. Okay, so what I did is sorry, I'm trying to tilt this so that you can see it. So I typed in 2 and then used that X to the Y button and then typed in the 20th, and then I closed it with the parentheses that are over here. Okay, anyway, and then when I hit enter, I get the same answer. So even if you only have a phone calculator, you can still do this. Okay, so I'm going to write that whole thing in here, 1048576. 8576. Gosh, it didn't even type it. 1048576, right? That's a big, big number. Okay. So let's take a look at the next one here. So this says, why do you think the term megabyte is used to represent this? Well, didn't we say mega means million? So I'm going to say mega means million, and that answer is close to a million. Okay, I know it's close to like 1,048,000 whatever, but it's close-ish to a million. So the next question is saying, what's the approximate value of 1 gigabyte? So 2 to the 30th bytes. We could plug this into our calculator, but I'm seeing approximate. So approximate 1 gigabyte, giga means a billion. So I'm going to say 1 billion. Done. Awesome. Let's look at the next page. Let's see. So looking at this part here, I went a little crazy with this in class. Let's erase that. So this part here, this says match each verbal expression with its numerical expression. So let's see if we can determine this together. It says choices may be used more than once. Ooh, it's always trickier when they do that to us. That's fine. So this says 8 to the second power. 8 to the second power. How are we going to do that? 8 to the second power. Wouldn't that be this one? 8 to the second power. 8 cubed. Cubed always means to the third. The reason that is because if you take the volume of a cube, it'd be length times width times height. That's 3 dimensions, so it's times itself 3 times. Cubed to the 4th power is 4th. This one says 8 squared. So if we were just going to write 8 squared, when we square something, isn't that just times itself twice? So that would be 8 squared. How about this next part? Help me out with this. It says, this, you might want a sheet of paper and definitely have a calculator handy, okay? So this says, complete the graphic organizer by evaluating the algebraic expression for each set of values. So we're going to solve this, and we're going to use these numbers to do it, okay? So we're going to plug in here, we're going to do x to the 4th, so 3 to the 4th power minus y squared, or 4 to the 2nd power, okay? So you see if you can do that. I'm going to work through it here as well, and then we'll get back together. I'm going to pause this right now, and then we'll come back together. Alright, so for this one, I got, if we're saying 3 to the 4th power minus 4 to the 2nd power, when I plug that into my calculator, I used parentheses because I just kind of crazy about parentheses and I wanted to make sure I got the right answer. So I did 3 to the 4th power minus 4 to the 2nd power, and when I hit equals, I get 65 for that one. So that's what I'm going to plug in here for this answer. So we'll type in 65 for this one. What's the next one? So if you plug that into your calculator, let's see what we get. I'm going to use all kinds of parentheses with this one. So I'm going to do -1 parentheses to the 4th power. and then we'll do minus 2 to the second power. Just to check, I'm going to add in extra parentheses just to make sure I'm grouping it all correctly. Alright, I got -3 for this one, so I'm going to show you how I typed this in. So when I typed this in, let's start at the beginning. So we had here, can you see that? -1 to the 4th power, and I put that whole grouping in parentheses, and then I said 2 squared, 2 to the 2nd power for that one. And when I hit enter, I got -3 for that. I hope you can see that. Let me know if you have questions about that, and we can talk through putting it into your calculator. So this one was -3. You try the last one. Go ahead and try plugging it in. Pause the video here if you want to try it out. What I'm going to do, instead of clearing my calculator, check this out. Here's another tip for you. Instead of clearing your calculator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press the up button. Press the up button, and then just go back and edit this. So instead of saying -1, I'm going to say -3, and that way I don't have to really retype everything. I don't want to bother retyping. Blech. And then we're going to change that other value here. So that's a good way to edit it without having to redo everything. And this is supposed to be a -2 to the 2nd power. I got 77 for this one. I don't know if you can see that way down here, but I got 77 for this answer. Okay. So, if you've got questions on those, please let me know. The next part of this says, suppose a negative number is raised to a power. When is the result positive? Check this out. We just used this as example in class. If we did -5 squared, that ends up as a positive number. You can try it out in your calculator. How about -5 to the 3rd power? That ends up a negative. -5 to the 4th, positive. -5 to the 5th, negative. You can keep going forever and ever, and turns out every time the exponent is positive, the result is positive. When it's even number. When it's an even number, the result is positive. When it's an odd number, the result is negative. So for our answer here, this is what we came up with in class. We said a negative number raised to an even power always gives us a positive answer. Kind of fun fact for your day. It's kind of interesting. Okay, that wraps up the lesson. So I'm going to show you really quick here. Let's see if we can get to, here we go. So this is the homework assignment for today. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see this a little bit better. This is on our Google Classroom page, so you feel free to take a look on our Google Classroom page. So your job to do these problems. 15, 20, 21, 22, 25, 26, 33, 34, 37, 38, 50, 56, 57. Okay, so please let me know if you have any questions. Email anytime and I can help you out. All right, good luck.